Hi, I'm Chan.
Hi, I'm Yo.
And this is
MUMxiety.
Okay, welcome back to another episode. And today, guess what? Do we have Celine on today? Drum roll, please.
Hi, I'm back.
She is back. Yeah, so we really need her on this episode today because I guess you and I both don't really have the experience in this part of being a parent.
Yeah, I only have experience of it from like being a child. But yes, today we're going to talk about helpers and having a helper at home to help with things and stuff like that. So among the three of us, currently the only one that has a helper is Celine.
Yes,
Yeah, who has been on the receiving end and also on the employer end.
yes.
Yeah.
Receiving end.
am
Meaning when I was a
only
child, I have.
Oh yes, when you're a child you have, then now you
Yes.
are
I don't like. I never ever.
Yeah, I grew up with helpers in my family. Like usually one after another. At one point, my family had two.
Damn, I say.
Cause my grandma was sick lah.
Ooh, I say.
Yeah, grew up privileged child.
Two of us cannot be here, right? Like
This is a room of privilege, guys. I need to be like those.
So-
I come from a very
Humble
background.
GG
I
now.
would like to.
Vote for me, guys.
5 years from now you see Chan.
I come.
I would like to
from a
thank my
very-
father.
But on a side note, right? Like recently, I was like looking through the new people and everything, right? Then in the opposition team, I actually saw one of my junior from secondary school.
You have to shout out to him.
Huh?
Her. Shout out to her. Yeah. So
Junior from secondary school.
Yes.
How young sia?
30ish, not so many. All of them 30ish. Hello, we not young already.
It's true. That day I had this realization, right?
Yeah.
That my team all younger than me now.
Sis, you already meet 30.
Exactly. That's why I forget that I'm at the age, right? Then I go in there suddenly all the age younger. Then I shit.
Yeah, we approaching the 4张没得找 sia. This is how old we are lah. Huh?
People 10
Expose
years
eh.
younger than us, not even interns already, full timers.
Yes, yeah. Realizations. Okay, but anyway, back to the topic of helpers.
Yes, so I have two helpers. Okay, so previously my first one was a Filipino. And my,
TikTok dancing helper.
yeah, okay, they are laughing because my previous helper has a TikTok account where she dances
In her house, in the toilet.
in the toilet. And okay, we only found her TikTok account. Not even not. It wasn't that we found it. It was a friend who found it and sent it to us. Yeah, and then my current helper now is Indonesian, and we just renewed her work permit for another 2 years. Yeah, so I've experiences with Filipino and Indonesian.
So were you worried though? Like having a helper, like what are the things that, you know, the bad stories and horror stories?
Yeah, I think we all heard a lot of horror stories. Like even within my ex-colleagues, they do tell like horror stories. I think the stress is when you need to find a helper, whether the helper is good or not. I think good vibes, bad vibes. When you interview them, also very hard to say because, you know, during interview, people always say, I can do this, I can do that. But when they actually come, they cannot do.
We all know lah.
Yeah. Not only with helpers, sometimes when I interview staff to join my team, right, they say, can do, then come, cannot do, then like culture shock. Yeah, so
Like I
same with
always
helper.
say, interview is only 10% of whatever you are going to get.
Yes, but I think sometimes if you are good at reading people, you can roughly tell. So my first helper, why we got her is because I was expecting, and then I already gave birth. My previous company, I had quite good benefits, so I had quite a long maternity leave. Then when I was nearing the end of maternity leave, me and my husband were like, hey, how we want to put the kid in school, but my older child is first grandson on my side of the family. Very precious first grandson. Then my parents are like, no lah, don't go to school, so poor thing, you know.
I get the same thing also. Like my 阿公 say 要去学校，哎呦抓起来关起来了。
Yeah. Then everybody say, ayo, heart pain lah, don't go to school until he's older lah. Come, we will help you to look after him, take care. But obviously, I'm not going to put my parents through that because it's not easy. Yeah, and then at that point of time, we were weighing the cost of having a helper and putting a child in infant care because in Singapore, infant care is not cheap.
That's right, even with subsidies.
Even with subsidies, it's like 700-800, maybe 1K plus.
Yes, I'm putting
A
my
month.
kid since 3 months old. Since she was 3 months old. Then
Is that because
everybody-
the teacher to child ratio is very high? As in a lot lower, so like
lower.
less
Yes.
kids to one adult.
Depends
think,
on
yeah.
your place also, on your center. Some centers are very big. So they have a lot of teachers and a lot of kids because they have to keep it to the ratio ma.
Yeah.
So their cost is relatively lower. But if
Wait,
you
so
want to
infant care more expensive than childcare?
Yes.
yes, a lot more.
When the
Actually, it's
kids-
twice.
Yeah.
the
When the
amount.
kid goes to childcare, the cost like
The
almost
playgroup,
half.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, personal experience, yes, she is going to playgroup soon. Then we have been paying like slightly above $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, for her for infant care since she was 3 months old already. pain on the
Yeah.
pocket. Yeah, and then we had a lot of like you say that she was also a first grade kid, so a lot of people also ask us why you don't want to put it with us, like we take care this and that, but you know lah.
I think my parents are more like the grandparents who come and play with the grandchild. But then but when it comes to really like changing diapers and all that, obviously
Pass back to you. Back to you. Mr.
so
Lee.
then why would I put my parents through that? So okay, at the point of time the cost, maybe getting a helper and putting in infant care about the same, but you have someone who live in your house, can do chores, can clean the child and all that. So we went to look around like maid agencies near our house, and quite lucky we interviewed my first helper at the first maid agency, and we thought okay lah, the vibe's quite good. Yeah, she has 2 kids herself. Generally, she's okay. Okay, so even though she has her TikTok and dancing, she does that on her own spare time lah. But overall, I would still say she is more helpful than a burden.
To be very fair, we've met
Yeah.
her and she's fine lah.
Yeah,
like,
she's
Yeah.
she seems nice. So
she was very nice also.
we were very
Yeah.
surprised to hear of the TikTok incident.
Yes, because she looks like a very demure, good girl, right? Then
Tuan Zhuang, really.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and she can cut fruits very well, I remember.
Yeah, and she's a mother of 2, but even though she's very young, she's like really very young, but she's a mother of 2. So we know, okay, she got experience looking after kids. And she really dote on my son, I would say, my older child. She will read books to him and all that. Yeah, when it comes to taking care of his daily needs, she's also okay. Like chores we give her do, she will finish on time. Sometimes to a point where she has nothing to do, my husband asks her clean corridor. So maybe when she really got nothing to do, then she'll start using her phone and all that. Sometimes she takes naps in the afternoon. After my son started going to school when he was a bit older, she takes naps in the afternoon. So we don't mind lah, yeah. But then,
The TikTok though.
so our friend,
Move past that. She also
No,
back.
But very, very curious about it.
yeah, but okay, they all have a life that we don't know, that we don't see.
Correct.
Because at that point, my house got CCTV. My first helper, first child, we also have a bit of like trust issues. We put baby CCTV around the house. Obviously, not at personal areas. It doesn't point to her when she sleeps. That's a bit creepy, right? It points to the baby crib. Yeah, and the only like space she knows that nobody is watching her is probably the toilet. So she goes in there to dance. Like sometimes I catch her going in, bring clothes, then come out. Like, wow, she go inside, do outfit change there. Then got one time she hobble out from the toilet. I'm like, hey, are you okay? She said, yeah, it's okay, ma'am. I twist my ankle because she dancing inside.
Confined space. Then fall down.
If she go on her off day, she'll bring one big bag, then got outfit change. I mean, because we know because we secretly go and watch.
The dedication for TikTok, man.
I mean, but she doesn't know that we watch.
Guys, you need to build up the content so you got more content to post later. She was forward thinking.
Yeah. So she like probably she takes like 10 TikTok one off day. Then she can slowly post
Slowly post.
thirst traps.
Yes. Okay, I think she was having some marital issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she needed to
She did
post
cry
thirst
about
traps.
it at home lah. So yeah, then when my son grew a bit older, we said, okay, never mind, we put him in playgroup. Because by the time he was 18 months, going 2 years old, can go to playgroup already. So we decided to, and then that was at the point of COVID. Yeah, so we let her transfer. And then she's quite smart. At COVID, right, she knew that she had a lot of bargaining power because limited helpers were coming into Singapore. There was a quarantine period. They have to go to stay at the facilities. Yeah, so, and then the salary of helpers increased drastically during then. Yeah, so she was quite street smart. She bargained and found a family that only take care of one child and can pay her quite a good rate.
That's good.
Yeah.
And can let her continue with her
Guys,
TikTok. I'm sorry, I just had to.
everybody got hobbies.
Let's talk about the teddy bear that appeared in the TikTok.
Everybody got hobbies.
Let's talk about the plant that
My husband was horrified when he realized that she took his plant and then danced in the toilet. And he was like, is that where my plant was? He was like, I'll never look at the plant the same way again. Horrified.
has been tainted.
But my second one is quite different. She's from Indonesia.
Actually, sorry. So what happened during the transit? Like when she was gone, and then did you have your second helper immediately or?
Oh no. It was just me and my husband and my son, just 3 of us.
And then you still can have another kid.
Yeah. So we like
Was it when you were starting your new business?
yes. Was it then? Sorry, I have very poor memory.
She does. She does.
Yeah, no, I think when my son was a bit older, maybe when he was around 3 years old.
Oh.
A while later, yeah, that was when I quit my job.
Okay.
Because then I didn't need a helper also.
True.
I could be a stay-at-home mom. Yeah.
Working.
Yes.
No lah.
No, that time I haven't
Quit
stayed
your
at
job,
home.
sorry.
Yeah, quit your job.
I missed that part. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, then a
Just stay at
few
home.
months later, then I start my own business. But then, because my husband, he is self-employed, so his working timing also quite flexible. So we could take care of our son by ourselves.
Were you already pregnant with your second one?
No,
Not yet.
that was planned later. Yeah, so when we were planning to have our second one, we also thought about like, okay, we need to hire a helper also, because then we already found out that my older son was autistic. So he needed a lot of support from us. But we also wanted a second child. I always wanted a second child.
She hopes for a girl.
Yes.
The first one was a son. And
Yeah.
then we've always seen Celine as a girl mum. But she now has 2 boys.
Yeah, gender disappointment. I cried at the gynae. The doctor said,
You cry,
I cried.
She told us what?
Oh yeah.
I was crying outside. So when the gynae was like, okay, do you want to know the gender? I was like, yes, I had high hopes. And then he said, it's a boy. And then the nurses in the room were all like, congratulations, and clapping. And then I started crying.
Then they thought tears of joy.
Then the doctor's like, are you okay? You don't want boy? I say, I want girl. I already have a boy. And then I went outside the waiting room and cried even more. And then people were looking at me like, hey, is she okay? Like, did she receive bad news? Then my husband was like, okay, you don't cry.
But never mind, you can have like daughter-in-law who can be your daughter.
You never know lah, okay? Maybe.
I mean like, if you, oh yeah,
Tan, your daughter?
my daughter,
She like-
she would love to have a mother-in-law like you.
So legit no. So after Celine
Don't
had
let her bully you, tell me.
after Celine had a son, right? Then amongst our friends, the next friend had a daughter. Then she had her niece. Wow, every day she just go to the girls. Every time she said, "Ayo, 这样可爱."
Cute, can tie hair.
Yeah, then after that we're like, okay, never mind, your second one. Then come out. Then she say boy. Then then I cried.
Yeah, so like we had our kid in the same year but different
Different gender.
yeah, different gender, and then, like hers is earlier part of the year and then like mine is later part of the year. So but by then I already know my kid's gender, right? Yeah,
I think so.
I think so. I already
By
knew.
when? By the time
But
she gave birth?
she gave birth, yeah.
Yes, you knew.
Yeah,
Yeah, you knew already.
Yeah, I knew already.
You knew
So
already.
then she was like, oh my god, I was so
Jealous.
awkward.
Then when I found out another of our friends,
Yeah.
So I had a
also-
daughter.
So we have another friend, the daughter, like we mentioned before, is born about the same time as Chan's daughter. Like they're a few days apart only. Also daughter. She was just like, why everybody got daughter?
小 sad. No, but okay lah, when my baby came, obviously I still love him, right? And then he's such a sweet boy.
Yeah, and my daughter loves him too. Like,
Yeah.
she saw the photo and she's like so excited. Coco, hi! Then she stopped everything.
Yeah, he's a very sweet boy.
从小就花痴. Very sad.
Yeah, but when we were planning to have a second one, we decided that we need a helper. And then so this helper was actually transferred over from my sister-in-law. When we were pregnant, me and my husband already got this kind of say, if sister-in-law doesn't want her helper, we take. Because we know her character. When they were doing house renovation, when my sister-in-law was doing house renovations, right? Their family stayed with us, so this helper was also in our house. And we see how she works. She's really like good worker. It's just that my sister-in-law has high standards. Yeah, and along with high standards comes with like a bit more like stress for the helper.
Sounds like my mother.
Yeah. Yeah, so after 2 years, when her work permit was up, then my sister-in-law asked her, you want to continue or you want to try something else? Then she said,
Transfer.
she wants to try another family. Then immediately me and my husband, when we found out about it, my husband jumped on it. He was like, do you want to come to our house? Then she was like, yes. I think she knows that me and my husband are very easygoing people. And then, but we are thankful that my sister-in-law has trained her well lah, because she got high standards. She makes sure she can do everything properly.
Your sister-in-law got big sick, or like when she decided to go to your family, she got upset.
No, I don't think so, because although she knows that she's a good helper, but she always feel that they don't really get along. She always say they are 八字不合.
Then she got a new helper, no? Your sister?
Yes.
So she felt better about that?
More her.
Or
Initially, she
Initially.
Initially, but now I think okay lah, because that helper is still they got a good one, then the helper backstab them.
Huh?
Yeah,
Backstab like how?
like return to her old employer. She wants to return to her previous employer. Yeah, there was some drama there. So like not good helpers always got this kind of story ma. So then they decided to send her back. They told the previous employer, if you want to hire her, then you hire her back from her home country. Don't transfer over. Because you want her so badly, right? You go and hire her and rehire her to come into Singapore. Do everything again. Yeah, because they very pek here. You come for a few months.
True.
You are happily working here and suddenly tell me your old employer wants you to go back.
You want to be like that? I also can be petty. Bye.
Yeah,
So
precisely.
many drama. That's why I never
A lot.
No, but when you have a good helper, it's really a lot of help.
But what are the chances though? Like how
Yeah,
would
lor.
you
So
know if-
I know this is a good helper. So we jumped on it and she was readily agreed to come and work for us. And all I can say is like we have no regrets. She really is very good.
because you had the experience of like watching her, like you had the privilege
Yes.
of watching her work and like to
And
be
I know
able
her
to live,
character.
in the same space.
Yeah,
But how many of the people who are thinking of getting helper has?
don't
It's
have
true
lor.
ah. Got no trial, no probation one, right?
Yeah lor.
helper?
I think if you go with maid agencies, I think some companies, if you don't like a helper, you can change.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like confinement nanny like that.
Ah,
I don't like it, then you change. But if you really employ her, then bo pian, right?
yeah, you can change. For me, because we hire her direct, so we just get an agency to draw up a contract for us. But when we recontracted her, right, so we just renewed her work permit, right, we just buy new insurance, and
Like, you
then
don't need people to do the paperwork for you already lah. You can settle on your end lah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. But we followed the old contract. We do up a new contract for her because we increased her salary ma. So we do up new paperwork for her to sign, then renew her work permits, do the insurance. Yeah. But if you're hiring a helper for a first time, right, you need to do an online course with MOM.
Make sure you're not abusive.
Yes.
Siao lang.
Eh, you know, you now register pet license also must do online course.
Really?
Yeah.
Cause scared you siao lang.
Yeah, correct. They scared you like abuse dog, don't know how to look after your dog, don't know how to see
Actually,
the
with
signs
so
in your
many
dogs and stuff like that, right?
Abusive, abuse cases of kids, right? Then maybe parents got pregnant, right? Decided to have kids, right? Also should do course.
Yeah, so for dog also
Right.
like cause
Makes
cause now
sense.
dog licensing
Petition.
is compulsory. Like last time don't need to license one, then cats cannot license cause HDB cannot have cats one ma. But recently they changed the regulations and all need to be licensed now. Before you register for your license, must take the online course. Then if the pet shop has the license, then they can transfer the license to you. Like you must complete the course and it's tagged to your SingPass one.
Scared you siao lang.
Ah, jialat.
Yeah.
Course one.
Yeah, I think Singapore quite like a big company. Everything must take cost. Like
So
HR.
maybe like I tell you already, yeah. So if
got
you
license.
mess up
I
later,
told you
right,
so.
it's your problem, eh.
I told you so.
Don't say I never educate you.
It's a big Virgo.
But do
told
you
you so.
really watch? You really got.
I mean, I did lah because I don't know if there's important information that as an employer I need to know.
I also lah, cause I never owned dog before, so I
You see, it works. It works for people. So
It works for high-strung people like us lah.
yeah, the don't care one, just next.
Yeah.
also very true. Also very true.
Because we scared we miss out details.
We scared we don't know something, eh. Maybe we can Google later, but like good to tell us now first.
I'm very law-abiding. I'm very scared. I miss details.
好市民，良好市民。
Yes. Yeah, but you have to do a course before MON allows you to hire a domestic helper.
But okay, so then your helper helps with your second son mostly lah.
Mostly, yes, because my first son don't really have a bond with her because she only came when he was about 4 years old. Whereas my baby was there when my second child was born. Yeah. So they naturally have a very close bond. So when I had confinement nanny, like, she's very good lah, as in my helper. She will learn from the confinement nanny how to shower and bathe her child. Although I never asked her to, because I expected myself to, at least until the baby is a bit more like older, I still bathe the baby by myself. Yeah. So after confinement nanny, she said, "Ma'am, can I try?" Then I let her try, and she can do it. That was when I was like, "Okay, then you do." Yeah.
But then like okay, so then your kid is very close to your helper.
Yes.
Do you feel like a bit slighted sometimes? Will your child ever choose the helper over you?
Most of the time, to be honest, yes. When he's upset. Unless he's bored of her. There are instances where he's so bored of her company, he's like, "Mama, Papa."
Like it feels like 渣男. Like I'm so bored of you, my wife. Then you go and find someone else.
Yeah, because like sometimes he has, like if he's sick, then he's at home whole day with her. Then when we come home, he's very happy.
He wants like a new kind of like
like a new person that is not Yeah, I mean, people have asked me before, hey, your second born is so close to your helper. To me, she's like his second mother, and I don't mind it lah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think a lot of working moms who have helper need to recalibrate their mom guilt, because you are already doing so much you can outside of your home to earn a living, to put bread on the table, to supply your child with a kakak or a helper. Yeah, and that should alleviate some of the mom guilt that you have from not spending time with them. And then instead of seeing this helper as someone who is snatching affection, you need to think about how she is providing you with pockets of time to spend with your child. So for example, if you don't have a helper, who is doing the dishes? You are doing the dishes, then you don't have time to spend with your child. But if you have a helper, you can use that time to spend with your child while the helper does the dishes. You don't need to care about the household chore, because then you have the time to play with your child and have that pocket of like meaningful time with your child. Yeah, so I know some moms feel like, hey, why they prefer kakak? I mean, to me, naturally, he will prefer because
he spends more time with
he spends more time with her. My older one is very attached to me and my husband. Because we send him to school, I'm with school with him the whole day at my center.
He never bought of you
No, but he's in class, ma. Then he asked me, Mama, are you teacher, Mama? Yeah, that's my older one.
But having said that, right, like there are some moms who choose, like, because you say helper helps to free up the pockets of time for the mom to spend time, or the parents to spend time with the kid. But some moms, right, during these pockets of time, they choose to do something else instead of spending with the kid. And then after that, coming back to complain, saying that, hey, why my kid not close to me? Why my kid very close to the kakak and all? So, like, in terms of...
Not to say, being a parent doesn't mean your child will be close to you. You need to put in the effort and the time and spend time with them.
Yeah, lor, then that's on you, ma. You hire a helper, then you still don't spend time with your child.
Blood doesn't mean, like, automatically.
Some moms don't see this part, like you want the kid to be close to you, to want to fall back onto you if anything happens, but then you don't provide the support when the kid asks for it. Like the kid, maybe like during these pockets of free time, you choose to use your phone, then when your kid keep calling out to you, say mama, 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 then you ignore the kid. Then what makes you think? Then of course the kid will go and find someone who will entertain them, right?
Yeah.
So then after that you come back and then like complain, say, 为什么我的孩子跟我不亲? Like obviously, right? Like, would you?
I think like because there are a lot of people that are very scared that kids get very attached to their helpers and not them, right? I know of actually increasingly, right, a lot of people who get helpers, right, and the helpers only help with the chores.
Oh, they cannot do any.
So they don't do anything child related. They only do the chores.
But that's
so
good
they
enough
do the
also.
cooking, the cleaning, the laundry,
That's
the
good enough.
everything, right? So the helpers only do chores, and all kid related things still goes back to the parent or the grandparent.
Yeah, also true, because I don't have a helper. Then we also do chores. My husband and I, we just split chores while like taking turns to take care of my girl lah. Then but we do have external help. We have like the auntie lah, who comes like once every 1 or 2 weeks like that. Yeah. So she's a great help to help us to clean, like very detailed cleaning kind. Yeah, not like deep clean, but like the 洗厕所洗马桶 all these things, like the very need to stay away for a while when you're doing the chores lah. Yeah, because like normal things like washing dishes or whatever, your kid can run around you, that's fine. Like you wash, like you do laundry, she can run around you, that's fine. But when you are away, you go toilet and then you need to touch some chemical, or
the
like
bleach.
they leave it for a while, then it's dangerous for the kid lah. So it will be better to have external help in this sense, like just once a week or once every 2 weeks.
My
It's
husband
good
do.
enough.
I hate washing the toilet.
Yeah,
so my
because-
husband wash off.
Yeah, like
While
then
he
while you
wash-
take care, right?
While he wash, then he close the door, then I sit on the sofa with the
Yeah, because like my husband and I, we both don't want to do it ma. So
Yeah.
we like, hey, never mind lah, ask auntie do. Okay, can
Yeah.
thank you. But for the rest of the items, like, these are things like washing dishes, like doing laundry, then we are okay to like take turns to do or whatever, while the other one takes care of the kid. Or if we are alone at home, then the kid can just run around lah. Then she just mama. Show you
now I
something.
do dishes when my dog, like I'm home alone with my dog, right? Then I do dishes, right? She'll sit next to me.
Cute.
So
hor.
cute.
Then wait for me. She just stare at me. Like she doesn't run around.
Yeah.
She like Velcro like that. So she won't run around and she won't take her toy to play with me. And she nowadays doesn't even run around me. So she just sit there and watch me. And she like that.
Yeah, my girl also, she will mama, and then she'll grab onto my.
So I have to give her a carrot every time I'm done. She's like, good job for waiting.
Mine is mama. Then she will 抱大腿. Then I'm like washing her. Then with one weight on my on one of my on my leg and dragging. And she will mama. Then she give me the one the 抱 face. Then I'm like later lah, wait. 可以等妈咪吗？你可以 wait 吗？ Wait. Then she will start saying wait. She will wait for me while singing.
Also cute what?
Yeah, like I mean, like it's a way to counter her impatient level. Like if not, she will be like, ask make her sing or sing, so she can.
But
do
do
it
you
better.
think like life is easier with a helper for you?
For me, definitely, but I've heard of horror stories where a helper not only not helping, but make them more stressed. Yeah, if you find a good helper, definitely is good. And I grew up with helpers, so my mom also has help at home. I think people also ask me before, will you be jealous if your son is closer to a helper, like what you said just now? But for me, I grew up with a helper, right? I know who is auntie and who is my mommy, ma. Definitely, when you grow up, you know the difference between who is your mommy and who is your auntie. Although I'm very close when I was younger to the auntie, to a point where, when we grow up, she still keeps in contact with us. She came to the weddings of me and my sister. She came back even to work for my family, to look after my brother's kids. Yeah, but then we will also know, and then my brother's kids are also very attached to her.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, full circle. It's like she's like their grandma, Yeah, but obviously we know this is a helper and she's not going to stay here forever. That there comes a point when their contract will end. They want to go home. And my current helper is still young. She eventually wants to go back and get married also. And then there'll be a period, of course, of adjustment for the child. I mean, like me, when my helper left the last time, I went to school and I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, I want auntie. Yeah, but you get over it lah.
I think for me, I've never had that because I was never particularly close to my helpers. But I also didn't have a helper, like for my family, right? I didn't have a helper for a very long time. I really only had a helper when my brother and I were in primary school. Because I think before we started formal education, like when it's just kindergarten and stuff, right? We go to the same kindergarten as my cousins. So my aunt could do the pickups and the drop-offs, and then we would all just hang together until my parents could pick us up at night.
So fun though.
Yeah. So I'm actually quite close to my cousins, and because we're around similar age. So then my aunt had helper because my aunt got 3 kids lah. So and both her and my uncle are like doctors, so they're like out long hours of the day. So they already got helper ma. So we didn't have, and we just tompang. Like, the maid will feed us, then my aunt will pick us up, that kind of thing.
Share helper.
Yeah. So that was when before I went to primary school. Then cause once you go primary school, your schedule more fixed and everything. Then worse is my brother and I, one morning session, one afternoon session.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
kind.
so like my parents can do the send in the morning and pick up in the evening. Then the afternoon need to send one and pick up the other one how, right? And then then you have tuition, ballet classes, music classes, all that. We had all sorts of classes also, right? So you need someone at home in the afternoon to like feed the kid, do all these afternoon things with them.
So busy, yeah. So many things.
Actually, to be fair, I think my helper last time quite busy because like morning, right, my parents send one of us to school, right? Then they really need to cook lunch for the second one, feed the other one, then bring them to school, bring the other one back, feed that one, then bring for ballet class, come back, prepare dinner, then like, so like she had her work cut out for her, honestly. So we only had in my primary school days. By the time we reached secondary school, right, we didn't have help already because like we were old enough and our parents were like, you can be at home by yourself, you can feed yourself and everything. Because I think my parents weren't a fan of having helpers also. Like they didn't want that extra person at home. Because my extended family, we always had many helpers around. Like everyone just needed the help. And so we've had our fair share of horror stories. And then my mom's expectations for the helper quite high also lah. Like in terms of like cleanliness standards and things like that. So I never really was very close to my helper. I even had a helper run away.
Wow. Why?
She very stressed with my mom. Maybe it's those 八字不合 kind of thing. I mean, I also 八字不合 with my mother sometimes. So like I get it lah, okay. But she ran away and like it was quite scary if you ask me. Like for someone to have to pluck up the courage, right, to pack their stuff and run in the middle of the night and go back embassy, that kind of thing. Like go back to the agency. So it's quite stressful lah. So I was never particularly close to any of our helpers. But I have seen my cousins who were very close to their helpers. Then she like, when the helper leaves, she cry. Like, she very attached because she also middle child, right? Then a bit of a middle child syndrome because the oldest one, right, the oldest one got one parent to turn. Then the youngest one got another parent to turn. So the middle one ended up being very attached to the helper because no one else really, right? So she really is like, even when we sit in the car, sometimes you're young, you want to sit on your parents' lap, that kind of thing. The helper's choice will always be to sit on the helper's lap.
Oh.
Yeah. So when they changed helpers or when the helper left and came back, cause my dad aunt quite lucky, her helpers are quite good one. So all stay more than the 2-year contract kind one. So whenever they eventually wanted to go back and had to change, right? Wow, she really is upset until cannot. And she will reject the new helper at the start.
Because your aunt is a very nice person, so the helper she get, like you feel like it's good.
I think for her especially, right, like she honestly isn't too fast about the helper.
And the
Like-
helpers also feel vibes, man.
Your main job is to just cook and clean. And her level of her cleanliness standards also not very high one. Like last time, right, my grandmother got one time, my grandma stayed with them, right? Then my grandma can you know the older generation can feel all the like supernatural stuff and stuff like that, right? So then my grandma tell my aunt, your house not very clean But she meant it in like the got the face like the pale things in the
Oh my god.
My aunt straight away went to the the helper not very clean when she clean things, but like she very nonchalantly said it like whatever lah. I got clean towels can already then I don't think then my grandmother was like not that kind of dirty.
肮脏肮脏。
脏东西，你家不是很干净啊？
I was like the heck. But also generally like I mean her I think she does get frustrated at her helpers also. She also got PT one and it comes out in a different way. But generally the day to day she's pretty understanding lah. They went from a condo now to a landed property.
Damn.
So also like the house suddenly became damn big, right? She also tell the helper, I don't expect you to like clean the whole house every day. Like every day take one floor. Like you have a roster
that's
of
nice.
like today you do the ground
That's
floor.
good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
We have a
It means every day busy.
we have a friend's mom who has very high standards.
Yes. And that house also very
That is a
big.
Yeah, also got
Many people.
that's a
Also
freaking
run
mansion,
away.
man.
also run away.
Oh yeah.
Also run
Eh,
away.
the name same as you.
Yeah. Both like very funny. Both of the helpers, right? The name if you call them separately, you
It's
add
her name.
together is my name. Like what the hell?
Yeah, that one also got helper.
Yeah.
run
So when they
away.
were calling out to her, I was like, why they keep calling me? Wow, I'm
Yeah.
so stressed, no.
But so my aunt was in that sense she's quite understanding lah. So like when they moved to a bigger house, they also said, yeah, I don't expect you to clean the whole house every day. So you like tackle like you clean each floor twice a week lah, basically, because you like
Slowly
today
lah.
floor 1, 2, 3, then you repeat that kind of thing, right? So not every day. Your main job every day is to like cook, walk the dogs, that kind of thing lah. So
That's nice.
so generally quite understanding and all that. So my cousin was just damn attached to all their helpers lor. And it's been like that lah. So my family has its fair share of good and bad helpers. With helpers that stole from us. With helpers that also got helpers that 3 weeks go back one lah. 1 month go back one lah. Like I go my aunt's house, right? The next time I go there for
Different
gathering,
helper.
helper change already. Swear.
But last time I got 挣扎 before, no? Whether I want to have a helper. Obviously, like Celine said, right? Helper, like with the same amount of money you're paying to a center versus you are getting a helper, then the helper can do more help in a way like lifts you up away from the household chores and everything. But then right, with helpers, sometimes you got a lot of drama, it's ongoing, then run away, not happy, this and that.
You really never know lah with someone
Yeah.
staying with you. Sometimes.
And also like around the estate that I stay in, right? My husband and I, we were like contemplating whether we want to get a helper or go to school. Then like those helpers help us make our choice, because when we were on the way back after the orientation in the infant care center, we walked back around the estate. Then we saw like this group of helpers. They're just on their phone and then bring the kids and let the kids anyhow run, no, just running around in the play area, like playground area. Kids just run everywhere, then they touching leaves, eating whatever nonsense like that. They don't care one. The helpers just use their phone.
It's okay. Got helpers take toilet brush, wash kitchen things also.
I
hear you.
Wow, I will
Yeah.
崩溃耶.
Really, it's崩溃. Like my friend really don't know where should she throw away her water pot or what.
Recently, I found out my helper never separate cutting board for like fruits
Oh my
and
God.
vegetable and
You
meat.
already cover already.
And then I'm like, I mean, I never scold her. I'm just like, huh? You never separate? She said never. Then I told my husband, can you buy new chopping board?
Yeah, because you get food poisoning from that. I
Yeah.
suffered from that before.
Don't let
also.
that leh. That day my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law were at my house. Then they use my chopping board. Then they just, this one can use, huh? Then like my chopping board got colours one ah. So I had like pink, then in varying shades of grey. So like the darkest grey is for raw meats.
Mhm.
Like the darkest colour one is for the 最恶心的 food, right?
Mhm.
Then the pink one, right, is for cooked food.
Cooked food,
Like cooked already can just like that
like
eat one.
fruits, cooked food,
Yeah, anything
salad.
that I can just eat.
Okay.
Then the next one is like, no, the next one is the vegetables. So like salads, that kind of thing. So my can eat one versus vegetables also got split. Cause vegetables got pesticides.
Okay, that's a
Whether-
Virgo thing already. That one is another level. liao.
Then the middle one is got something else lah. Then the last one is like raw meats and like fish. Like no, last is raw meat. The next one is fish, raw fish.
That's
I
a bit
meat
too
and
much,
fish
right?
are
Yeah.
split.
I think
And
for
then
me,
I
fruits,
got-
vegetable one, meat one enough.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
so
yeah.
then
I also.
no, so it's raw meat, raw fish, vegetables, then ready can just eat like that one food. So I had 4 ma. Then that time got one time my husband's friends came over, right? Then I wasn't home when they came over. Then when I came back, then I looked at my chopping boards. Honestly, I was damn angry.
That's a Virgo thing.
No, you know what they cut? They freaking cut Baby Bell with the freaking wax on my chopping board.
Yee.
Oh, they never tear out the wax.
They never tie the wax. They cut together with the wax on my chopping board. And the thing is, they use already, they wash, right? Then they now wash the wax away. Like, so when I came back, my chopping board was on the rack to dry, but still got the red thing. Then at first I was like, wait, what is this red thing? Like, what they eat? Then after he was like, I don't know what they were chopping with. Then I go and open my fridge, then cause got leftover, right? I was like, is it the Baby Bell thing? Oh yeah, maybe. Just now they just go cutting in the kitchen. Like, then you never see. Then they never ask you what can be used. Then you never tell them. Then I also don't know. It's like,
Yours husband be careful 下，回家贵有点可。
But this one is his friend, so I was like, I can get angry, right? Yeah, but that day my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law were there, and then while they were trying to prepare food, cause they brought meats and vegetables over, cause they wanted to do Korean barbecue.
You label lah. If they never use it, 你不会读啊。
So that's the thing, cause I never label, cause I'm the only one that uses it
You
at home.
label lah.
So then when they started using, then we were all too busy also, cause like my parents were also there, then we also had to deal with the dog, so everything basically was just a mess. So they just used the chopping board, so I asked like, okay, 随便 lor. So then after they left, then I scrub everything. I wash everything with the like Dettol.
That's like a very Virgo thing, really, really. If you don't say that and then then later on right, 你累 right, 你自己擦到累 then angry sia.
No, but so that day I wasn't angry, but I was just more like I was frustrated. No, I was frustrated, but also like I knew we couldn't help it because everybody was too busy, and it's not like they never asked me. Like I also say just use whatever you can
That will
find.
put you into a very bad mood, right?
So I was just like, no, like I wasn't angry. I legit, the more angry one was the Baby Bell one. That one, I legit my face damn black that day. I was just like, I was supposed to eat dinner with them, right? I legit eat 10 minutes then I zao already. Then like he had to host his friend myself. And I said I tired. Then I just go to the room. I ignored them for the whole night.
What the shit, sia.
For Baby Bell cheese.
Baby Bell.
Don't anyhow use my chopping board lah.
Yeah, don't anyhow touch a Virgo's thing, okay? Always ask. If you're in doubt, ask.
Yeah. But yeah, so then you have this problem with helpers. Like you really need to take the effort to educate.
But sometimes these smallest details you won't even notice it until like,
It happens.
yeah, so it's like I want to ownself chop my own thing. I say, hey, which one you use for vegetable? Then she just say, hey, anything, ma'am. Huh? Anything? Then I shocked. Yeah. But then speaking of like good helpers, you also need to see, helpers, they 离乡背景 come to Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are also hoping to find a good family to work for. And there are horrible employers out there. I'm not talking about high standards, I'm talking about abuse cases.
Yeah. Like they are someone's daughter,
Yeah.
wife, or like
someone's mother.
someone's mom. So like 换一个方式来想，如果你自己的孩子被人家这样离乡背景去做工，被人家欺负，你会怎样？
You know the case about the helper who was abused until she was like malnourished when she died.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
30公
quite
斤 or something, right?
How do you all even, what do you even do to the helper that she can end in such a state? It's damn sad. And I think these helpers, they come to Singapore, if they are not as like street smart, they don't know where to find help also. And then they just silently suffer.
Yeah. And it's not always that they can. It's always the option for them to go back to the agency, cause you also never know like how they are treated there. I'm sure they have agencies that tell them like you cannot come back one. Like they don't treat their helpers very well one.
Oh, they cannot come back because some of them, right, they actually took on a lot of like loans and debts to come here. They cannot come back until they have the money to pay that off. Because if they go back, then kena already jialat. They don't know how else to earn money. They also cannot pay off. Then they might be harassed also. Yeah, that's why they are very worried to when the employer scares them lah. Like
Not
say
easy
like,
for
"Eh,
them
我
also
send 你
lah."
回家，我送你回家 this and that. So, but having said that, of course, they are also not the very good ones lah. I recently have seen a video, like a news, saying that the helper packed like stuff all the valuable items before she got sent off back home after a contract.
I think
ends.
quite common.
Common.
Yeah, then that one is very bad leh. Like really got Rolex or everything, a lot of
My
stuff.
cousin's helper, there was one. Okay, to be fair, that helper is still with us today. Like even though the whole stealing thing happened, right, they still kept her. But she stole my cousin's money from his drawer. He was only a secondary school kid.
What?
Then she stole his money. Then got one Chinese New Year also, right? I mean, we don't know if it's the same helper, but we got all of us the kids got ang pao money stolen. Cause we were like not supposed to, but sometimes when we were young, we right, then we open ang pao and count together, right?
We stupid,
Or like
right?
we want to see which auntie give more, which auntie give less, right? So we
Normal.
open and count together, right? Some people got extra ang paos, then we don't have, but we're like, but we got take from this person. Then we realized that ang paos got stolen also.
Damn.
Yeah, Chinese New Year. And the thing is, they smart. They never take the adults ang paos, cause like the adult need to give, right? So if they got not enough, they would eventually figure out, right? They take the kids one.
Then the kid cannot say anything. Cannot say, the
You
auntie.
also
then,
don't know what.
Yeah, then the parents will be like, 哪里可以这样？这样没有给你。Then become like the auntie like 漏给一个。Then the parents then stir a lot of shit from this one action.
Yeah. So Chinese New Year we got ang pao stolen before. Then got helper steal my cousin's money before. But like my husband like to say that house yellow ribbon. But I mean, to be fair, that helper has been here. Honestly, I think got more than 10 years. And she's still here today. She is like when our family gatherings, right? She is the most senior helper already because she's been with our extended family.
Oh my god, she's the Ping Jie in Emerald
She
Hill.
is. She is.
Ping Jie in Emerald Hill.
She is.
Emerald Hill reference.
Really is everyone will defer to her.
Shout out to Ping Jie.
Yeah, like Chinese New Year, I will also give ang bao to like my helper and my sister's helper. Like let's say like our family, right? Those who bring helpers, right? I will also give ang bao to them.
My parents
correct,
also,
correct.
yeah, because
that's what we do
technically they really are part of the family already, and like they really are here to just help.
And some of them, they are really very happy when they receive the ang bao. Like you will see the look on their face, like they are very surprised to receive the ang bao. Yeah. And my neighbor also very nice. And recently, Hari Raya, he also give ang bao to my helpers.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, my neighbor's very cute one.
Yeah, so cute.
Dog not an investment. Dog the ang pao. This year Trixie got 3 ang paos.
Is she hinting?
No.
Next
just
year?
kidding, yo. This year she got 3 ang pao. 1 was money. The other 2 was just treats.
Trees not bad one. But is it the kind that...
I think Trixie will prefer trees.
Yeah lah, this one a bit
lah.
tamjia lah, so not so bad. But like treats you also cannot anyhow give because a lot of dogs got allergies.
correct.
Oh, really?
Aiyo, you don't know ah. You know a lot.
As in, I know
Gibbo,
dogs got
Gibbo.
allergies, but I thought dog treats generally is okay for all dogs. No.
No. So,
Is it Gibber or is it Gibber or is it...
kibble.
Oh, Kibber, sorry.
No, dogs allergies. Okay, so the thing is, kibbles also they can form allergies to it. But a lot of dogs, you know, even our friends, the dogs, a lot of them are allergic to chicken.
Oh?
And that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cheapest protein you can get, you know.
Sorry, a question I read. How do you know the dog is allergic? They will start scratching?
They will scratch, they can diarrhea, they can vomit.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically they just want to get rid of it, right? So, or sometimes it comes out as allergens like us, so then they will scratch.
Yeah. I got
They
friends.
excessively scratch.
I got
So
a friend also.
when your dog suddenly all of a sudden excessively does this when you feed them something new, right, is when you need to take it out and try something else and see if it continues. Then a lot of them eventually they will send for allergy tests.
Yes, and it's
So that
not
you
cheap.
know, it's not cheap. So that you know exactly what the dog can and cannot eat.
Oh.
Yeah. And then so like a lot.
Is there like a dog EpiPen? Like,
I don't know.
I think don't have. So
But
that
is very expensive.
out of that bunch of friends, right? Not this bunch, but like the other group that I'm closer to, right? All got dog one, right?
Closer to, she not close to us.
As in that closer, I mean like friends that I'm close to and like the not close, like that
Okay,
kind
I
of
understand.
closer. But like all of them is allergic to chicken one. And chicken is the cheapest protein you can feed your dog.
yeah.
So there was a point in time the dog eat steak and duck.
Wow. High sense and the dog.
Salmon.
Oh, maybe long time ago, chicken and dogs they are friends, so they are not like meant to
No,
eat chicken.
So they say that a lot of times dogs, right? Because
鸡朋狗友.
That's true.
like dogs evolve already, right? Then like we feed them, we expose them to like our diets and things like that, right? So a lot of them they say like sometimes it's they eat too much, right? Then they start to form allergens. But sometimes you eat, then they get used to it. So like for us, right? And so because they can get allergic to a particular protein. So some is allergic to duck, some allergic to chicken, some allergic to beef, some allergic to a few of them. Some can be allergic to eggs, right? And so if your treats have any of these components, then they also cannot eat. Yeah, so cause all treats also, right, like they have a particular base ma. Some is like salmon base, some is chicken base, some is beef base, some pork base, that kind. Like treats also got all sorts of proteins and like some is allergic to corn and that kind of things also. So you need to check the treats also to make sure like your dog not allergic. Yeah, and dogs also then problematic one. You feed them something new, right? You cannot one shot feed everything one. You
know
must
what?
let them try bit by bit. Cause
Same
they
lah,
might
same
have-
for a child.
they
lah.
might have reaction also.
Just give cut lah, huh? If you like PSA, if you want to give a gift to a pet owner, just give cut from like Pets Corner,
to be
Pet
fair,
Station, Pets
to
whatever.
kids also I feel like
Give cut lah, then you can buy
don't
whatever,
give,
man.
don't give food.
If you
because-
think money like 不是很有心意
Again,
then
I
you
like
buy
to say
gift card.
it's 2025 Suddenly kids also got a lot of allergies one
Yeah, that's true.
It's
that's
not like we for us, our generation like allergies one here and there that kind. Then kids nowadays a lot of allergies one
I don't know, but suddenly my sister's been getting allergies. So my sisters are old.
I
And suddenly, they all of a sudden all
Yeah.
their life don't have,
Yeah.
right? Then they've been eating the same thing again and again. And then suddenly, like my sister, usually happen right before they turn like they are in their mid-30s going on to 40. Don't know what happened to immune system. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
like that one. Cause when I turn
Why
30 something, right? Last time I don't get allergies and stuff one. Nowadays my hives is like.
Same I think it's
Why
dust
ah?
for me.
What happened? Can
Yours
somebody
is dust.
say?
Mine a lot Mine got dust, got heat. So like even when I go in the sun, right, I will feel it all over my body.
I thought you go in the sun, you in heat.
It's really last time when people in army, right, then they say they allergy sun, then got excuse from. Y'all got hear before? Allergy sun, like 太阳 then.
太阳 so
So
they cannot
then
listen.
when they do all the outdoor shit, right, then they don't need to do one, cause it's allergy sun. But like I
Vampire.
I used to think, how the heck can you be allergic to the sun? Then now I walk my dog, right, when it's really too hot, right, then I go right, my whole body damn itchy, yeah.
We got one friend allergic to sun. You also know this friend. Really. Later I tell you all. Like, she also been like the entire time in her life, right? She like nothing happened. I go on trips with her, everything. We're all fine. We go to sunny places. Everything is good. Then suddenly, like I think last year or the year
I
before,
know who.
Yeah. Suddenly, she allergic to sun. She's like, what the hell? She thought it was a sunscreen, but no.
The bye no, right?
No, not the bye one. It's the other friend. Also in the same friend group.
Oh.
Yeah. The very tall one.
Oh.
Yeah, she allergic. Then she was telling us like,
Isn't she like very sporty?
Yeah, but she allergic. Like what the hell?
Like last time when we work, she's always in the sun.
Exactly. So she like, why am I allergic to the sun? Oh,
She's the operations person, no?
Yeah, correct. Then we went on trips also like damn sunny and all. Then she's the one winter don't need to wear long sleeve or she not scared of cold one. Then winter also like very sunny winter day, right? She also wear shorts. Nothing happened to her. Then suddenly like,
Then what
she
happens
hit
if she's
her
allergic?
mid-30s, right? Suddenly allergic.
We need to Google this later and do some research.
Is it
Why do
mid-30s?
people develop allergies when they're older?
Yeah, like mid-30s. Like what happens, yeah?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so for my dog, like the allergies, we best scared she gets allergic to things, right? So now we haven't found anything. Every day we just try feeding a different kind of
Oh my
protein.
god.
We just keep exposing her to different kind of treats so that like her body will get used to it. Because if she keeps eating a particular type, right, next time her body not used to a different type of protein, right, then we also cannot feed her.
But then, right, since y'all need to spend so much time, effort, and also leave on your dog, right, would you ever have like a helper just solely to take care of your
I
pet?
think no lah. I don't think, because I think in that sense, right, kids, like we started this podcast wanting to compare how different it was like with kids and with a pet. And I think in that sense with a pet, like I don't really have that nurturing aspect that I have to do with a dog constantly. Like I think there's a slight difference in terms of like how cognizant. We are all living beings, yes, but humans are a lot more cognizant than dogs. And kids really, or human beings in general, you really need that someone there with them also. Like you cannot leave a 3-4-year-old kid to their own devices the whole day, ma. But I can leave a 1-year-old dog at home or like for half the day and she'd be fine lah, right? Like she learns how to deal with it herself.
Okay.
Right? So in that sense, I don't think we'll ever need to have a helper just for her, right? Because she does fine when I'm out the whole day for work, ma.
Because I've heard lah, maybe because of the personality of the dog or something like that.
Okay, I think it's different if you have like a difficult dog, right? Or if you have a dog that is very reactive, that barks at everything, that you need someone at home to train the dog or to be with the dog. But I also feel like there are resources for these people. Like there is school, there is like you really can send a kid to school, and dog schools also sometimes is whole day one.
That's true.
Yeah, so but expensive cost as much as childcare, obviously, if you ask me. Yeah, and no subsidy. No subsidy.
Yeah, but there's also like horror story of like animal abuse or like pet abuse.
I think the animal and pet abuse comes when people who are not suited to have pets.
That's true.
Right.
Or maybe like the
Or they
owner,
inherited the pet.
like the owner is okay. Like the owner is the nice person, but it's just that they hire help.
Yeah.
So maybe the helper is like the problem.
No,
lah.
so I heard that time, right, like my friend, they had a dog, right? So recently my friend got married and then her husband, so we got asked him, hey, will you ever want a pet? Because they came out house that time, then they played with the dog. And then he said that he is a bit scarred, so he doesn't think he'll ever have a pet anymore because they had a helper where the helper came later, right? So the dog was already in the family, right? And the helper didn't want to take care of the dog, right? So the helper poisoned the dog.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Was she charged?
I don't think so.
That's the thing, like they may or may not get away with this.
Correct.
Nowadays then they will get away. But last time where got people care one?
No, last time now they won't get away. But last time was a bit easier
yes.
to. It was a bit easier in that sense.
头
'cause
讲到烦
you don't always report it and things like that. Or sometimes it happens, then you might not even know that it's the helper that poisoned the dog. Because the helper can just say, oh, no, at home,
I
then the
bring-
dog just like
yeah,
that.
How do they know? They
Oh,
did the
you
dog
don't know eat
autopsy or something.
I don't think they did the autopsy, but as in, I don't think they knew officially it was the helper, but they deduced eventually that it had to be the helper. Because like, the dog wasn't sick, the dog wasn't suffering from anything. It was very out of the blue, suddenly the dog just died when no one was at home. That kind of thing. So like, only the helper was with the dog. So ever since then, like, so there definitely are cases like this. And I've definitely heard of people who hire, but the helper is not hired for the dog, you see. Usually in these cases, the helper is hired for the family. And so sometimes they don't know what they're getting themselves into. I mean, now, of course, you can tell the helper, oh, we have a dog in the house. Are you okay with that? You know, some don't really want. Then you need to find another one, lah, right? Because they also can have their own preference. They're allowed to have their own preferences. Or like, you know, religion and stuff like that. They cannot be with a dog. And we have to be understanding for that. But a lot of times, I think these helpers have been employed to help the house, look after the kids, or do the chores or whatever. And it just so happens that part of the chore is the dog, which they didn't like.
Yeah.
And so then I think these kind of things happen. So if you ask me, will we ever get a helper cause we need help with our dog? No lah. Personally, for us, we probably don't need to lah. Like between the two of us, we can manage the dog on our own. And we've also came to the final conclusion that if we ever want to go on a holiday, we'll just put our dog at boarding lah, and not like put at any of our family's place lah. I mean, we always have that option, but we also don't want to burden them. So just send for boarding lor. But otherwise, we probably will go do our own lah, I think.
Yeah, but having said that, like, there are scary like employee stories. There are also scary employer stories, like, because they are mean to the employee, right?
Sleep in the bomb shelter.
Yeah, or like those who like they ill treat the employee.
Expect them to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, so the employee will transfer this hatred onto
the family.
The child.
The weaker ones who are in their care, like for example some old people or like kids or like pets. Like I have heard of the story during like one of the family events. One auntie, then she cannot find her charging cable. Then after that she call home and then she asked the helper to bring it to her right now. Like, why you never pack all these things? Let's go. Then suddenly there was this one line well, it really got to me. She just told the helper like, never pack properly for me. You make so much trouble. You take out $2, put inside the container. You see how many $2 you put already. This is how many mistakes you have made. So like every mistake she makes, she gives back $2 to the employer leh.
That's what I say. If your employer do this to you, you call MOM already.
Yeah. So some of them is they don't know they can do that, and then some of the helpers also like it's either they don't know they can do that, they just have the
I mean, they are humans. They are allowed to make mistakes.
then they just nasi kangkang the employer. Like either they don't know how to do right, they nasi kangkang them, or like they maybe they go back hometown find bomo, do something, or they just
but helper
take it out lah.
Helper nasi kangkang, right, is really happen before in Singapore.
Yeah, really happened before.
Time.
Yeah, correct. Then like, or they just take it out on the weaker links that they can't speak up for themselves, like those old people like paralyzed on bed, cannot say anything. Then or the kids who can't speak yet, or like pets.
Yeah.
So yeah, the employer also please check yourself before you.
I think if you have a good helper, you need to treat them well lah. You need to treat them like
because they are
family.
the ones taking care of your family members, your close ones.
Also, regardless lah, right? They technically are an employee. Most of us are also employees. You put yourself in their shoes. Like if your employer did this to you, you will confirm angry.
You also want to
call
slap
MOM
the shit out of your employer.
You call
right?
HR, you call MOM.
Yeah, you'll be like, 这个人不要在外面给我看他的脸了，帮我打到他，打到他妈妈都不认得他。You confirm will say this kind of thing, right? But they have no other place to vent this out. Like how they go to the employer and say, 你不要给我看他的脸 cannot, right? Close your eyes lah, I don't want to see my face. All this lah. So, yeah, so everybody just 将心比心 lah. Like treat people like how you want to be treated.
They are here to help you lah, okay?
Yeah.
Help them help you.
Yeah, help them help you. Yeah, and don't fight with them lah. If you don't want to put in the effort to spend time with your kids, right? Then don't come and
don't blame
say,
them.
Don't blame them lah. Say, 哇，老伟她想要当女主人是吗？那老公也送她好了， you know, that kind of thing. Like too much lah, too much. They're just here to they do a good job. You should be glad, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I see. Celine agrees because
she got very good helper lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my helper is quite good to a point where she don't even use her phone lah. I've never seen her use her phone.
Wow.
When she's working.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because Celine
she got self-discipline.
So she is nice.
But I would say it comes from her also. She has the self-discipline to not always be on her phone.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, and we asked her, hey, why you don't call your family? She say, I don't want to call them because
Then
I will
you
miss them
them.
too much.
Oh,
Then I was like, so sad. Yeah, but then I let her manage her own emotion. I mean, she's a big girl, like grown up.
adult.
Yeah, she's an
Yeah.
adult.
yes. So to sum it up, is having a helper a good thing?
If you have a good helper, it's a good thing, and you need to be a good employer also.
Yes.
Help them help you.
Yes. Line of the day is help,
Help
them
them
help
help
you. And with that,
We've come to the end of yet another episode. Thanks Celine for joining us again.
Thanks for
yeah,
having
we
me
will have her
again.
in another episode.
We shall see.
Yes.
Well, I mean, just welcome to a day of our yapping.
Yes. Thanks for listening and
Bye
bye.